Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So, if you haven't heard, well, let me stretch this across the screen and get rid of my face. Now, Michael Benson puts out a lot of good information, always keeping everybody updated with what's going on in the boxing world. And this right here, I just cut and paste from Twitter what he posted. Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, right, on the 22nd of June. But on the undercard is David Benavidez and Alexander Gvozdyk. Now, let me tell you something. People can say what they want when it comes to Amazon Prime, to PBC, to the fact that a lot of these fighters under the PBC aren't active. But I'll tell you what. When you look at the first card that was put on and how entertaining that was, there were no lulls. It was smooth transitions. It was managed. The time was managed very well. Whoever was over that whole project, all the key players, all the stakeholders involved, they all did a great job. So now you look at this next event being put on, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a pay-per-view card. This pay-per-view card, I think, is just going to blow out the water, man. Now, people are saying, you know what, Tank and Frank Martin is not a big sell. You know what, Tank Davis by himself is a big sell. But I'm not talking about the Tank and Frank Martin, not just those two guys, right? I'm talking about the fact that they have Tank as the headliner, so you get a lot of the urban audience and a lot of the other audiences, the Hispanic audience, you get the casuals, you get everything with Tank fighting. But then you put David Benavidez on it. And those diehard Hispanic fans and Latinos, particularly the Mexicans, they are going to tune in. This right here is genius. And you know what I like the most about it? Is David Benavidez, man, he really is cool, man. He really is like, you know what? I don't care about being on an undercard. You know what I'm saying? All he cares about is just getting out here and fighting. And he doesn't mind being on the undercard to anyone. And that's what I like. And when he says, let me do something real quick. When he says he doesn't care about the money, I think he's serious. I think he's serious about that. I think he really is all about his legacy because, yeah, that's good enough. I think he's all about his legacy, man, because he's already, like you said, he's got money, and he knows the money will come. But you know how many fighters wouldn't have been okay with being the co-main to Tank Davis? Their pride gets the best of them. They think they're bigger than what they are. Now, David Benavidez, can he go out there and put on his own pay-per-view event and be the lead? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know how well he would do. It kind of reminds me of like Jerome Boutsinnis. Didn't really want to fight on anybody's undercards anymore. He wanted to try to go out and do his own thing. He's not really ready for that, and it's okay. Most of these guys coming up, they fought on the undercards of the A-side fighters to build up their profiles. I mean, it just comes with the territory. So if your profile isn't where it needs to be and you still got to fight on the undercards, it's okay. But I'm telling y'all right now, Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, I already said, man, I would not be surprised if, I think Tank wins it, right? But if Martin happens to win the fight, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? But what I'll say, I think the biggest difference for this fight with Tank and Frank is one, Tank's explosive and his power is crazy, but I just think it's the experience, man. Frank Martin has, what he's done to learn boxing, I mean, is beyond impressive. Start fighting at 18, not like turn professional at 18, to really get in the gym. And it's like, okay, what are these? These are called gloves, this is boxing. And to start learn, to get the foundation underneath him and to see where he is already. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. That just tells you, one, he's athletic, but he has discipline. okay? And when you see the way he performs in the ring, he's got the speed, he's got IQ, he's got power, he has everything. The problem is, when you start peeling the layers back on a fighter who started fighting when they were 5 or 6 years old, there's some shit they just do instinctively. Some things that they just know. And I'm not so sure Frank Martin, when Tank starts figuring things out and doing little things in the ring, I'm not so sure Frank is gonna be prepared for that. His whole thing may be like in the last fight he got in where he fought that guy. I can't remember the guy's name. I could pull it up, but whatever, man. I'm not gonna waste your time. But anyway, you could see that that guy was an Olympian. That guy had been boxing for a long time. And Frank Martin was struggling a bit. But then you saw him be able to reach deep and say, you know what, I may not have these little nuances about me like this guy does, but goddamn it, I got heart, I got speed, I got power, and I have the drive to find a way to win in this ring. And that's what he did. I just don't think that's going to be enough for him against Gervonta Davis, because the one thing that makes a difference in a fight, right? Well, you know, speed, but the one thing that makes a big difference in the fight is the goddamn power. And Tank has that freakish power in that left hand. You saw when he was a little kid, the video that's circling around on the internet. If Gervonta catches you with that, you're going down. You know, so he's just blessed with that kind of power. Now, David Benavidez and Gavaz dick all up in your mouth, right? That's a good fight. But David Benavidez, man, you know, it's not going to be easy for him. But from what I'm understanding is David Benavidez is out here destroying 168 pounders and 175 pounders in sparring. And he's getting everyone's respect. Any and everyone who may have said, we don't know, we'll see how he looks. That's just at 168. He's a weight bully. When they get in the ring to spar him, they have a different, they have a newfound respect for him. They're saying his speed is crazy. He's explosive. He's powerful. He's durable. He's no joke. And that he can go as far as he wants to go. That's how good he is. And they talk about his conditioning. So David Benavidez against Gvozdyk, which is a very, very good fight. And on paper, looks like Gvozdyk could trouble Benavidez. But from what I'm hearing everybody say in these videos and people who sparred him, and they don't have any reason to lie. They have no reason to lie. They say David Benavidez is like that silent assassin. And they say the Mexican monster name suits him well. Now, the thing is, well, what's next? So Gervonta beats Frank, because that's the most interesting thing here, right? If Gervonta Davis beats Frank Martin, let's be real, okay? Because this is a whole nother video, but we're going to talk about it right now. Where are we at? Okay, let me just bubble on down to here. Okay, let me show y'all something. If Gervonta Davis beats Frank Martin, there. He's the number 2 ranked. How do they have him behind Lomachenko, man? I just don't get it. But anyway, Gervonta Davis is ranked number 2. Martin's number 5. But when you come down here, you take a look at what's going on. Zepeda is the mandatory. So if Davis gets past Martin, I would think he'll fight Zepeda. If not Zepeda, it's Edwin De Los Santos. But if Gervonta Davis really says, you know what, I'm tired of playing around, let me fight somebody to unify. I don't know why he won't just fight Shakur. I don't know why he won't just fight Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Just fight him, get it out the way. But he just doesn't seem to have an interest in fighting Shakur Stevenson, man. But if I was Shakur Stevenson's team, I wouldn't want to put him in there with Tank. Period. Not anytime soon. Shakur Stevenson just came off a horrible performance. We know he's looking to fight somebody right now. I keep hearing Murataya's name, Zepeda's name being thrown around, but we don't know who Shakur's fighting. But the reality is, he needs to stay away from Gervonta Davis, to me. Get him some more wins, raise his profile some more, because if he fights Tank, there's a lot of people who say they feel Shakur Stevenson beats Tank. I just don't think he beats Tank Davis. I don't think he beats him. I don't. I think Tank will start stepping to him, start stalking him, and Shakur Stevenson will end up in another situation like against De Los Santos. The difference here is Tank's going to be coming at him. You know what I mean? You watch Tank in some of his fights, he'll be getting hit and he'll just keep walking through that shit. He's just coming because Tank knows if I can get close to you and hit you, I'm going to hurt you. And I just think with a guy like Shakur Stevenson, I think Shakur would end up, Tank would catch up to him and knock him out. Or this time, Shakur Stevenson won't get a decision like he did against De Los Santos. Now, when it comes to David Benavidez, let's just scroll on up here. I'll let y'all see. Look, scrolling. He's at 175 now, right? Okay, so when it comes to David Benavidez, this is what's going on. If he beats Gvozdyk, who's ranked number 7, his next fight, it's already been said out there in Saudi Arabia that they want David Benavidez to fight the winner of Beterbiev Bivol. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Benavidez and Bivol, word on the street is, Benavidez, whenever he spars Bivol, he beats the crap out of him. So that fight doesn't really interest me. Even though I think it's interesting, doesn't really interest me. But I tell you what, you put Benavidez in with this monster right here, this guy, put him in with Beterbiev, and now let's have a conversation. Benavidez, Beterbiev. Oh, somebody will die in that ring. Because Beterbiev is a machine, boy. He comes forward, man. It's like something about that man's hands. It's like he barely touches fighters and they fall apart. And Benavidez has the same talent, same power. Barely touch you, hit you with the bing bings, and the fighters fall apart. So, for me, it's going to be interesting to see the direction both of these guys go, Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez. But if Benavidez could get himself into a fight with the winner of Beterbiev Bivol in Saudi, then that's great. Benavidez spinning his wheels chasing Canelo. Canelo put the duck sauce on the carne asada. And now Benavidez comes out here, could be fighting for a $15, $20 million payday. You know them Saudis paying real money. That's a big-time fight, an undisputed fight. Then you have a champion from 168 bubbling up. And in 2 fights is challenging the top guy at 175. That's going to be a big fight, a big money fight, man. And I hope he gets it. For Gervonta Davis, he's going to do what he wants. Because let's be real. Anyone Gervonta Davis fights, the man's making like $15, $20 million a fight. When people are like, no, he doesn't make that much. Yes, he does. That man's making real money. You know what I'm saying? Y'all haven't figured out that Al Heyman algorithm? How he pays his fighters. Those guys, Gervonta Davis is making serious ass money. So will he go and fight a high-risk fight? I don't know. I just think he dominates anybody he put him in there with. But I'd like to see Gervonta Davis fight Tio. I'd like to see him fight Suber and Matias. I'd like to see him fight Haney. Hell, I'd even like to see him fight, what's his name, Shakur Stevenson, fight De Los Santos. I'd like to see him fight all those guys. But, at the end of the day, Gervonta's going to do what he wants. They're not really about the belts over there. They're all about the money. And I don't disagree with that. But I still would like to see him get into some fights and put on some historical display of his talent so we can enjoy it. But at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want. But I think David Benavidez is the one that's going to give us the fight that we really want to see, which is him, Beterbiev, since Canelo's putting duck sauce on his fucking toothbrush, on his carne asada. He lotions up with duck sauce. He's just a goddamn duck. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.